into this computer. Okay, recording, Yahoo, slide, share. Oh, it's Grand Central here, it's awesome. So I'm doing the presentation here, let me get this. I'm doing it on JSON.stringify, which is very closely related to what Andrea just presented. So, all right, so just a quick review. He already reviewed on JSON what it is, JavaScript Object Notation. It's a very lightweight data exchange format, and it's standardly used. XML is pretty much going on the way out. So even though the AJAX, the last part of it starts for XML, it works with JSON as well. So JSON is commonly used to exchange data from, to and from a web server, okay, out to the internet, okay. And so I found this, I love this thing, JSONlint. It's this website right over here. It basically, you can put in your JSON and even a string like this, and it will format it like this and check to make sure it is in proper format. So that's awfully nice. There's other ones out there too. So I just thought I'd let you know that really quick. JSON.stringify, let's just talk about that really fast. JSON.stringify it's a function. It's built into your browser. It's, I just want to say, compared to Java, converting an object to a string is a piece of cake. Why? Because when we worked with Java in the previous class recently, you had to use something like Jackson or some other different type of package. You had to either put it in your Maven repository or put like a jar file into your project. And then you had to figure out how that particular, how Jackson worked or how the other thing worked. And I mean, it wasn't too awful, but this is a lot easier in comparison to it. So, so you guys can actually have this project done. Like you could do this probably in like an hour, hour and a half most, totally most. That's if you're trying to make it pretty. So anyways, stringify is used to convert a JavaScript object into a string, okay? And those objects can contain arrays and variables, but it can't really contain methods or date objects. Now, if you do have a date, you can, it'll just convert it to a string, and methods will just be completely ignored. So just know that when you're getting data back from the internet, you're going to have to take those dates as strings. They're not like dates as an object, okay? So my little picture, I made a little picture here. This is Facebook. Here you are on Facebook at home. Facebook at home on your computer is basically creating, objects just as I'm assuming it's written in Java or something, or JavaScript or something like that, where you're working with objects. But then as soon as it needs to go out to the internet, like say you updated something here or you posted something, what it needs to do is it's going to convert that information into a JSON string, and then it's going to send it to the web. And just so you know, an object basically looks like this. It has curly brackets in for JavaScript. For JavaScript it does, and basically it kind of looks like that, okay? So you'll send us to the web, and then on the opposing or the other side here, so when you parse it, when you get it back, you're going to be getting something from the web. You're going to be getting a string here, and it was converted into a string, and it sends it back to your computer, and your program on here is going to convert that back to objects, okay? It's completely transparent to you because you're just working with Facebook, but when you're actually coding this stuff, that's the kind of conversion that goes on. So JSON.parse is the function, and you use parse to convert the data from an object, or into an object, I'm sorry. And functions and dates need special handling. Like you could technically send a function in a string, and then you have to figure out how to like reformat that back. And dates are probably more commonly done, I don't know. But it's probably a little more above what we're doing here. And I just want to say that W3 Schools is a bit confusing on parse, so don't worry, I have another resource for you. This is so easy, you're gonna die. So here's a list of APIs on Git. If you use this right here, Git has it all nicely categorized and everything. So that was kind of nice. And then this video is a good one. He's a little, maybe you don't need to watch it that fast, but this is a really good video explaining everything about parse. He shows you really quickly and it's some examples. So that was fabulous to watch. And I actually posted that in our Slack as well inside the Scrum area or group. And then this is I just used W3 Schools. And so that is basically that. Let me just show you the code. When I initially did this, I actually wound up doing, I went out to the API because I did way more than I probably should have. So let me just go to topic. Okay, there's my JSON, or I mean my JavaScript. Here we go. So here's my HTML. Okay, it's just explaining what JSON is and stuff. But basically, here's the thing that makes things go round. Okay, this is my button. When you click this, it's going to go to this function, right? How's it know to go to this function? Because way down here, I told it in my script thing, go to topic, this file to get that, right? To get that JavaScript. So let's see. I got lost here. And then once you click that, it will basically it'll go out to the API and it's going to get the data from there. And I got, what I selected were ships and the corresponding like classifications or whatever for that. And then this is the JSON.parse itself. Okay, it just talks, you know, these are just, maybe you should look at the actual thing, but basically this is just verbiage or whatever, the example, and then you click it, it will do it. Okay, and I'll show you that. And then stringify. So that's kind of how I have it set up. You click something and it goes to the actual JavaScript. So just look at that. Okay, so there's all that verbiage. Here's the thing where it's going to go and get the Star Wars ships. Okay, that's more like what Andrea was doing, where it literally goes out to the API and gets the ships. This is more about, let's just look at really what we're really supposed to be doing here. This is the code basically here in, it's not actually the code, I just cut and pasted it in here a little bit. So you just defining the actor, the difference between var and let. Let will only work within like the function you're within, and var will work throughout. So, or is accessible throughout. So here we've got some, this is just like a field for first name. There's another field for last name. And this is a Boolean variable. This is a numeric variable. And this is an array, okay, because it's in these square brackets. And so this entire thing right here is the string of JSON. So to parse it, I'm just going to click on here, and so it is going to bust it down and put it into an object here. So it's basically put it in the first name. You can see it's more of in an object, okay? And then stringify is the exact opposite. It basically takes my object right here and it makes it into a string. If you click this, it made this string. This is all you need to do in order to accomplish this, okay? what I did up here was way more, where it goes and it gets the different things from an API, and then it, you know, just kind of formats it, no big deal. So let's look at the actual JavaScript. Where's the JavaScript for that one here? Okay, so the Star Wars portion, I mean, it was just basically what he was saying. Use this, and I went to this website to get it. Now, as you can see, I used a trillion different APIs, trying to find one that was free and didn't require a key. So I found a couple, and you're welcome to use this board one right here. Is a good one because I liked it. It was cute, but whatever. So anyways, that function, I don't know, I just wrapped through it. It goes and gets me my request. It gets what I requested, and then you send it, and then it spins through and produces all that. It just basically formats the name that I'm getting from there. And I mean, I think the hardest thing about this particular thing, other than what Andrea ran into about the server restriction, is just kind of understanding the structure of what they're sending you. And once you can understand, here I could show you that too. Once you understand the structure in which they're sending you, then you know by dot notation what to ask for, right? So like results was the lead guy I wanted to go into, but then I wanted to go down to Starship class, a field within in results, right? And the name was another field within results. So it's just understanding the structure, and then once you get that, you can, and so yeah, this, you have to ask for the length of, don't ask for the length of my data or the entire thing. By the way, my data was what my request got put into my data. Don't ask for just my data's length. It's not going to work, okay? Because it's only going to think it's got one, and so you're never going to go through this for loop anymore. So I ran into that too, so as you can tell. So you got to ask for the results or the thing that you're looking for that you're going to spin through, okay? So the actual stringify is right here. This code is, like I said, you guys can have this done in like an hour. You basically define yourself an object, right? I called mine actor. You don't have to use let. You could use var if you want, whatever. I said let because I figured, hey, you know, let's just keep this all within this function. Don't be, you know, whatever. So that was fine. And then I just got Chris. I just defined this out. I tried a few different things. I also put in a function just to see what would happen. And it basically, when you saw it on the page over here, it didn't even think about that message. It didn't even add it at all. It just aired that function message. It just basically ignored it. It didn't include it. So you can even screw up and it's still going to be okay. That's why this is so forgiving. So once, then it's going to take my results from Avenger, the stringified version, and put it into this ID inside my HTML, okay? And parse does the same thing. Basically, you just, you give it a string, and I would recommend just using the same string that you created off of this one. Just put it in there. Don't forget to put these little quotey things around it. And then, so I said let actor equal this, and then I just said parse actor and put it right back into actor. And then I busted it up a bit. I went through this. This is a for in loop, and it busted it up for me into the pieces. And then I put the result of that back into my HTML tag. So Do you guys have any, I mean, really, it's not hard to do. I made it harder on myself because I basically went and did two things in one. And so then on top of it, what I decided to do is like, well, if I've already done that, why don't I just do this one? And so I did. I changed it. I'll show you this way. It's probably easier. I just I changed my API to air qualities in different cities. And so if you do this one, I literally did this in like 15, 20 minutes most. And I don't like how this is formatted, whatever, I'll fix it. But it's just basically the city and then the country and then the air quality. Does it mean much to me? Probably not. Maybe I should have found something more interesting. I don't know, whatever. But at least I can go get data. I can do it. So that's that. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I've missed which one you got that data from for that last example, or the
Okay.
quality.
The JavaScript right here. I got it from, I just switched because I had a bunch of them. So I got it from the cities one. It's actually on my page too. And then it just gets it from there and puts it into my data. I literally use the same structure. And then I just kind of, I don't like this city thing. I could get rid of that. I think it looks dumb. But anyways, so it just, my data, so since I had it put into my data, I have to understand the structure of it. Let me show you one more step. I'll just show you one more step, okay, because this is gonna make it easier. Maybe Ryan, let me see, which one's better? Let's just do the plain. I'll just do the plain, I'll just do the one I just did, okay? So if I do this thing and inspect it, and bring this thing out here and click source. And then I'll just like stop it somewhere. I'll just stop it like at the get. I'll just stop at a few places, whatever, just in case I'm slow. So click the button, it's gonna set up. Okay, so hasn't gotten the data yet. Okay, has my undefined, my data is undefined still. Okay, got it, it got my data. All right, so you see right here, I don't know if I can make this any bigger. Let me see. Here is my data. You don't want this metadata, it's stupid, you don't want that. It's data about data, whatever. You want the results, and you can see how it's structured down into city. And then if you click on city, it's got country. That's how I got it. It's like that, right?
Cool.
So what you want to do is you want to say my data. No, you want to say, sorry, you want to say results. My data dot results is the array, right? So you need a little brackety things for that. And if you're spinning through it like I was, you want your index I, whatever, to be in there, unless you just want one particular thing, you can, and you know which one it is, but I probably wouldn't hard code that. Anyways, then what you want to do is you want to understand that you need to say results.city to get the city. And this one, unfortunately, 0 is unused. Let's use a better city. This is another city right here. So it's results.city would give you this. This one, for whatever reason, 0 was unused, whatever. But then it would be results.count to give you the air quality count on that. So as long as you understand that, you're gonna be a lot faster than I am for doing, you only need that for what, for doing the API thing. You do not need that for just parsing and stuff. You're just basically making examples, right? So you don't need that. This is for doing what Andrea showed, okay? And for doing, all you need is the simple stringify thing where you make an object. You literally make it yourself. See here, I made an actor, Chris Hemsworth. for, essentially. And I made that all out there, whatever. And then I basically called the stringify with my actor thing, my actor object, and I put the answer into Avenger. And then this put it into this spot here. I'll show you. Is this for me? This put it into the button, or to the ID right here, JSON.stringify. It puts it literally right here into this div ID, okay? So it just spits it out. And so that is equivalent to, me saying, I'm on stringify, right? Is that, see, that was the answer. So it took this structure, my object structure, and it's made it into a JSON string here, okay? That's what it did. And this one, parse, does the opposite. You load it up with a string and it busts it down, or it breaks it, it puts it, it recreates your object.
I see.
Got it?
That makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so how do I, let me get back to, I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna shut the recording off.